Fitzwilliam Museum to talk about an often overlooked but nevertheless important category of Roman art, engraved gemstones. In the Roman world, tiny gems such as these were engraved with a variety of images, including gods, figures from myth, portraits, animals, plants and objects. They were treasured not only for the beauty of their colourful and often exotic materials, but also for the craftsmanship of their images and for their symbolic and sentimental value. Gems such as these here would have been worn as jewellery, most often set into rings, but also mounted in brooches, pendants and diadems, and even sewn into clothing and shoes. Worn on the surface of the body in this way, they added sparkle and colour to the appearance of their wearer, and in that way enhanced their importance and their prestige, communicating something of their status and wealth, but also of their social aspirations. In addition to a range of materials used, we also have two different types of carving. So this is an intaglio gem, where the image is carved into the surface of the stone. Or else, they could be carved in cameo, where the image is raised on the surface of the stone. And you can see how the artist here has used the natural layers of different coloured stone to make this image of a muse playing her lyre quite literally stand out in white against the much darker background. There's something deliciously tactile about cameo gems. They are miniature pieces of sculpture that invite you to touch their image as much as to look at it. This is a cornelian intaglio from the 1st century AD. Like all gems, its image can be, at first glance, hard to look at. In fact, it looks like there's not really anything there. By nature of its size, it requires up-close, slowed-down viewing. You might want to move its image around in the light to get a better view. And if we shine a light, we can see how changing reflections on the surface of the stone cause the image to flicker into and out of life. It almost looks as if it's moving on its own accord. If we look closely, we find the representation of a young boy with little wings and curly hair and chubby thighs. And these give us clues as to his identity. This is Cupid, the Roman god of love. And this is a subject matter that is well suited to depiction on a gemstone. He is shown throughout Greek and Roman art as a little child, an eternal baby, commenting on the smallness of the gem. And also as a child, he is well suited to being picked up and cradled, just as we might want to pick up and covet this alluring gemstone. And if we turn to the literature, we find descriptions of a god who is flighty and mischievous, who is gone as soon as he has arrived. And this is something that is reflected in the transience of his image on the gemstone. He flickers into and out of visibility as the light reflects off its surface. But what is most interesting about this image is that Cupid is not playing himself here. He is in fact holding the attributes that we more normally associate with the hero Hercules. If we look closely, we see that he is holding a club and that he is carrying a lion skin on one arm. I think that this example shows how the images themselves play with the function of gems. Gems are all about dressing up, and this is an image that's about transformation. This is a scene of fancy dress, in which the tiniest of gods is masquerading as the most colossal of heroes. It's playing with the fact that gem wearing could be a means of dressing up the body in better, shinier, more powerful and more prestigious form.